This is Jessica again, sorry. One more thing that I noticed, that I noted down that I forgot to mention, was that he wasn't very humble about it. And when you're trying to win people over to your side of the discussion or whatever, you don't want to be. We've already mentioned that he was forceful, but if he was somewhat sympathetic for it, showing a soft side of him, I think it would have made a big of a difference rather than just him, like, yelling at people that it was wrong.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jessica. That's why I was like actually terrified of him. And I don't really get intimidated by people. And he was just, I think that even people, like we were all saying that if you believe in God, okay, maybe, but I think even people who believe in God would have been like, oh my gosh, calm down a little bit. Like, you need to just step back and take a second. But anyways. Did you guys, so we basically hit all those, so, I mean, we can look through it, but I think we hit all those questions by talking, so we can just go to the next one if you want.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I also noticed that it said that for some reason I kept thinking our group meetings had to be like 60 minutes long, but it says just like 20 to 40 minutes. So if we finish early, then I guess.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Let's get this done as fast as possible. So I completely agree. Okay, then we'll do the next one. The next one, oh, okay. So he was on the other side, and you guys can see the questions, so I'm not going to read them, but I'll go first again. He was actually very calm, and I actually felt like, oh yeah, I can relate to that, even though I don't agree with his stance. He put up good points, and I was talking to my husband about his video, and I was saying, even though I don't agree with his points, I mean his stance, he has some good points, but not everyone can, not everyone has that great opportunity that he's had, even though I don't agree with his stance, like I said.
That's how I felt as well. And as he told the story of his life and how he grew up, no one really noticed that he had been raised by two parents of the same sex, but that he said what he really liked was that he had a sibling that was actually his real biological sibling. And like you said, not everyone has that opportunity, and not everyone is going to react the same way to having same-sex parents. I have a friend who has two moms. I see, Trey. And he's totally fine. And then I know someone else who has two parents that are men, and she really struggles with it because she has no one to relate to. So I think it really just all depends.
I agree with you all. You have good points. I was going to say that I liked how he used stories, and like he used his own personal story, which is moving, of course, because we all can relate to stories, or somewhat. It kind of catches our attention. And he also used data, like he shared like his ACT score, like he's in the 90th percentile. That's impressive. But I also wish he would have shared more statistics, like from other people, like maybe compared to, well, obviously he was promoting gay marriage, so even if he would have shared like more, I wish he would have shared more data, I guess, if that makes any sense. But other than that, it was a really moving argument, even though I don't agree with it.
And the thing is, he was also very humble about it and very charismatic, I mean, when he started with his story, he said about how his grandparents struggled with it until they succumbed to his cuteness, so in a way he was also humorous. He just knew how to win people over. So I do think that people that went to listen to the debate to try to make up their minds because they were divided, that they would have gone from, well, I guess I am from same-sex marriage, because he made his point across better than the other guy. I mean, who is going to want to side with the other guy that is being so rigid and so robotic in a sense, as opposed to somebody that is talking about family, because he asks, how is this going to affect your family? It will affect mine in a good way, but can you tell me how is it going to affect your family in a bad way? And most people don't realize how it's going to affect their family in a bad way. Most people just don't have the data in their head.
Okay, that was awesome. Okay, let's go on to Matt Walsh's article. Well, he was very. I actually liked it. It was very to the point. This is how it is, and I think that he used facts, which was nice. He used the Constitution. He used what things were said, and he used. Well, he didn't. I wouldn't say he actually used actual stories, I felt like, but he used family and friends as how he disagreed or agreed with them, and I felt that was also, it almost helped his speech in a way. But I don't know if any of you guys went down his page, because he says, I know people are going to comment on this and they're going to be flooding it like we're learning about right now. And I had to stop reading the comments because I got scared a little bit again, so yeah.
This is Jessica. I really liked, and I pulled it up to the side so I could read it. When he talks about, he said, and I'm gonna read it just for a second so I can get right exactly what I'm talking about. Where'd it go? He was talking about how marriage, it's not going to be equal when you have with a man and a man, or a woman, because he said it means it is not equal because equal by definition means sameness. Sameness by definition cannot apply to two relationships that are characteristically separated by such a vast and remarkable distinction. So I just thought it was interesting, and then at the bottom he said, so in light of this, most societies have afforded in a certain respect both out and necessity to sound philosophy, and this bond was given a label, marriage. Marriage is, or at least was, the context in which families are formed and maintained, and that is what is important. And I thought that was cool because he's saying families, it's creating a family. And while, yeah, two men or two women can create a family, it's not that man and woman creating a family. And how equal, he said it can't be, equal rights or whatever because it's not the same thing. So I just thought that was interesting because it just brings up another points for me to be able to, when I have a stance on something, I keep to myself, and when people ask me about it, I tend to shut down because I don't like confrontation, and if people are yelling at me or something, then I just get really freaked out and start crying. So I don't really speak my mind, and I just keep it to myself. So reading other people and how they can back it up without being trampled upon really was interesting to me. I really liked his speech, or his essay, article, whatever it was.
I don't really have much to add. I really liked how he brought in the family, and that's the whole reason why we have marriage between a man and a woman, because so we can procreate and have children.
Well, I just feel you all made all the points I would have gone for. So I don't have anything to add.
Well, okay. Well, good job. I was just going to say, if we can just talk about next week real fast, or for the following weeks. I'm good to do the same time, as long as you guys are good if I just have to leave every once in a while. My baby is only 4 months old, and the baby I'm babysitting is 2 months old. And so, newborns are like, they're a little bit needy. So if you guys are okay with that, then I'm good with whatever. But that will make it easy if we can just do the same time, if you're okay with me leaving every once in a while.
I'm fine with doing the same time. I have 2 kids, and then I watch 2 infants under a year old. Anyways, then I just kind of keep my thing on mute unless I'm speaking. So, I mean, it works for me.
Okay, then we'll just do the same time. As long as you guys are good. I mean, I don't know when their nap times are gonna work during this, so if you guys are good with that, then we'll just plan on it. And Jessica, are you doing the summary today?
Sure, I can.
I thought you said you were going to, so why don't you just do it?
Wait, did you say me, Jessica?
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, that's really fine. I will do it. 1 second. Sorry, my son was yelling for more cereal. Okay, so our summary of today, with the first advocate number 1, the guy against same-sex marriage, we all agreed that pretty much he was too forceful in his opinion. He didn't really show any feelings towards anything besides just yelling at people and trying to tell them that it was wrong because God said so. And while we agree with this, or agree with his stance, when someone is telling that, it kind of scares you away rather than making you, think about how you really like his speech. And with the second one, we liked how he told personal stories, and we liked how he was very humble about the situation, and he was not very prideful in telling everyone else that they're wrong. And with the last article, we liked how he really brought into family and used definition and facts rather than just basing it off the Bible or Heavenly Father or God or whatever it may be. He actually looked up definitions for certain words such as equal and family and under the Constitution and stuff, and that's how he brought into play why he thought that there should not be same-sex marriage. So that's what we came to. Any other inputs?
Nope, that's awesome. Thank you.
No, that was great. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you. See you girls next week.
Okay, I'll just post it to the board then. Have a great week, you guys. See you next week this time.
Thanks, Taylor. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Janelle.